Hey everybody. As you know, I've been working on my summer project that is now my winter project on just the words of prosperity and helping you understand that prosperity mindset, but really going through the words that you need to put into your everyday idea because you have to think about things differently. Prosperity mindset is a practice. It's all of the things that you have to learn how to do. And and with that is to assemble it for you. And that is very interesting. And one of the words that I often remind people about is the word adventure, that prosperity mindset is an adventure. And the way that I explain it, kind of the easiest, is if you want that sparkle, you got to have some spark. So if you want the sparkle in your life, you have to constantly do the spark, igniting, right? How to get something. That's like when you know somebody is prosperous, they kind of have like this sheen of yummy on them. And you don't, like the spray of aura around them, right? It just flies off of you. And that's actually kind of the imaginary way. Of course, we all wish we lived in the world. But when you are someone who is filled with adventure, prepped for adventure, willing to take on adventure, it you can't hide that. You can't hide that. If you think about yourself as a kid who's like, "Oh my gosh, we got to do that," right? I mean, like if you're out with me in a mall or something and I see something, like I am actually startled by adventure. Like, what? It hits me, right? So it is the way that I explain it is kind of like the carbonation of prosperity. Adventure is a foundational tool that you want in that prosperity mindset because to have adventure, you must face the fact that you must be adventurous. And an adventurous also means it's about embracing change. It's about not just pep and vigor and whatever, but it is the quest. And adventure is a foundational piece of prosperity. And what does that mean? Foundational means that it's vital, right? When you see the word foundational, it means vital. It is the original spot, it is the opening, it is substantive, it is preparatory. So if you can give yourself the ability to take on that quest of adventure, it is again it is about the fact that life is a performance in a set of circumstances. And let me let me just say that to you again. A quest is around life, and life is a performance in a set of circumstances. And those circumstances around you and all of the wriggling things around you are changing every second. That many of the situations that we are in are only because it all these things kind of communicated all at one time. So that healthy sense of adventure is someone who knows that they are on a quest, but you must accept that adventure means that you must be an adventurer. And an adventurer is also someone who understands that you have to accept all of the tingles and all of the sensations about being emotionally, vulnerably, and completely present in the moment. And that little effervescence of life, sometimes it's delicious, sometimes it's radical, and sometimes it's exhausting, and sometimes it's just delicious. But life is filled with hazards. And those hazards that we get from being alive in the moment are what make it great. We have been trained over and over and over and over again to shut back, to receive, to not create, to not venture, to not engage. We have been taught to Netflix back watch TV, take other people's opinions, go further and further and further and further away from our own life. And when you look at how many times you zone out, you come on back, you can't hold your thoughts, it's because you forgot. You forgot that this is an adventure. And if you want the sparkle, you have to constantly be getting that spark. And that means two things have to move together, right? You don't get a spark alone. You do not get a spark by just being you, right? You get a spark because you connect to something else in the world. You must have two things that connect. So a spark to get a sparkle. And when we talk about adventure, one of the things that I remind people about is that life is a gamble, that sometimes it's uncomfortable, right? I live in the meat raffle of life. Like sometimes I get called, sometimes I don't, right? Nobody knows what's going to be in that raffle. It's wrapped in a white package and delivered if your name gets called, right? Our life is like that. And I never know what's going to happen, what my life is going to call. But how I come to it is around agency. It's around how do I feel about my own capability of leading my own life. And that sense of adventure means that there's a foundational element, that the original piece, the hardwired part of you in prosperity believes that what's in the basement of my life is foundationally okay, that I have a choice every day to make. And when you think about that for yourself, you want to go, do I have, right, kind of settled law? Is this settled law? Do I know that I can get up and face the things that are here? And guess what? Sometimes we don't. Sometimes there's no adventure within me. Sometimes I'm going to stay in my pajamas all day and hide from the world. That's allowed. And that is also a piece of knowledge. That's also the wisdom and understanding that perhaps you need a break, that you need some insight, that there needs to be a second for you to get some more dexterity in your ability to deal with the world. I'm not saying that you have to be excited about being in the world every day. I am not saying that the world is not crummy sometimes. It's most certainly is. What I am saying is that in prosperity mindset, the more you do the foundational work, the more you understand where you stand and how these words apply in the collage of your life, the happier you'll be, the easier it will be for you to to get on to the gamble, to be willing to keep running with the ball, right? We One of the things that's the most difficult thing is that, it's one thing to throw the dice. It's a different thing to say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep running with the ball. I'm just gonna keep just it's throw the ball to me and I will run. And that is sometimes it's a stroll and sometimes it's a saga, but it's your life. It's your life. And you have to do the foundational work. So out of today, the knowledge that I want you to take away is, right, the two things connecting. If you want spark, it's you plus something else. They have to cross. They have to ignite. That if you want sparkle, if you want to have that sheen of yummy magic, you have to take some adventure. And what that means is that lots of things are going to fail. Things are going to blow up in your face. Things are going to be, filled with prep and pep and vigor and fun, but they're also going to be sometimes scary and illuminating and difficult and frustrating and tense. And it's all of those things, all of those tingles and sensations of life that make someone have enough agency in their life, because it's all those terrible things that were really kind of gross and difficult that make it easier to go the next time. You must make decisions that are different and uncomfortable. You have to get lost. You have to be in a place where you are challenged. and you are challenged deeply. If you want to grow and exceed, you must be challenged deeply. And if you take that challenge on and you feel that it is oppressive and difficult, and you get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, it'll kill you. It'll make you sick. It's no fun. But if you can take it in as an invitation, as a fundamental, as I'm learning, and not have it break you down and have it be interesting and be willing to allow the set of circumstances to come abroad, come aboard, right? Life, it's here. I'm going to live it. And I don't know what's going to happen in the meat raffle of your life. And I don't know what's going to happen in the meat raffle of my life. But I do know that if I put myself into situations that are wisdom enhancing, that are play enhancing, that I can be the archetype of someone who is willing to have an adventure, it's a lot easier to have prosperity, because once you go through challenges and things are difficult, or things that you are learning from over a series of time, you can't hide that sparkle. You can't hide the fact that you've been somewhere and that you know something, because the foundational part of you will be full. That there is substantive knowledge that is like tucked inside of all of your cells. And that's magic. So, what I'm going to leave you with is that life is a performance. It's in a set of circumstances that you do not always control. This is not us sitting at home, listening to other people's stuff, watching a television screen, alive with nothing, writing an essay of make believe and trying to script it and tell people that we're real. It's about you being alive. And so when you're looking at your prosperity mindset, again, adventure. This is an adventure. This is your adventure. And again, I thank you. I thank you for being willing all of the time to take a little finesse, to take a little gamble, to allow the epiphany that are coming for you, because this is your knowledge. This is your day. This is your future. This is your magic, your wisdom that I can't wait to see. And that's going to be fun. So today, think about the adventures you'd like, write them down. And if they fail, that's okay. If they go great, maybe you should write them down. But no matter what, it's vital to you and it's foundational to how you're going to grow. So take some time, take some adventure, think about the adventures you've had. I'd love to see a list of the adventures that you've had, and how it has given you wisdom and understanding, how it has given you foundation. It is a substrate. It is something that we are growing on. It is long lasting. So have a great day. And again, thanks for your sparkle. And I will see you in class. Bye.